Due Date with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis. It's a road trip movie, a road trip comedy.
Due Date is Todd Phillips' follow-up to, I keep wanting to say Todd Solondz.
Todd Solondz?
I would have loved if he had done this.
No, this is Todd Phillips' follow-up to The Hangover. It's got one of the cast members of The Hangover, Zach Galifianakis. He hooks up with Robert Downey Jr., who plays a guy who has been put on the no-fly list, and they are forced to drive across country so that Robert Downey Jr. can be back in Los Angeles for the birth of his first child. Let's see the trailer.
Where's your dad?
No idea.
When's the last time you saw him?
1977. He had his bags packed by the front door, and he picked them up, put them in the back of his car, and drove away. Last time I ever saw him.
It's so funny. Oh my gosh. My dad would never do that. He loved me.
If you're going to travel with me to Los Angeles, I got to give you a couple guidelines. Number one, don't ask me a single question.
What's your favorite color? What age did you lose your virginity? Do you like hot dogs? I once ate a foot-long corn dog on a nude beach. I'll never do that again.
Number two, if you're allergic to waffles, don't eat waffles.
Then don't take me to a Waffle House.
If I miss the birth of my child, I'm going to choke you out with your own scarf. Wrap that thing around your neck and choke you out.
Seems a bit drastic. Holy moly, like I'm traveling with a child.
Did you use the restroom?
Good point. I need to take a pee-pee. Check this thing out. I can't believe I did that. It burns! Don't panic! Don't panic! I'll see if the rental agreement's in the... Well, you know what? I have coverage.
Is that a drainage stitch coming up?
Yes, it is.
Real hard.
Hold something.
Nope. Hand me that dog. I will rip it in half.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
You saw in that trailer there, guys, everything. You saw the full arc of this film. I laughed like 3 times in running the trailer, and it was all in the first third of the trailer. And in the first third of this movie, I laughed a lot, a ton. And then it didn't, not only did it not stay together, it literally drove off an interstate to me.
Yeah, this movie was really disappointing. If you want to see a movie about 2 guys that don't like each other, and one of them's kind of normal and one of them's kind of a goof.
Please say it.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, you went the other way, but that's a great call.
That's the better movie to watch.
I can't think of anything anymore.
It's all in there somewhere. Look for
no,
it.
of course. Charles Grodin, Robert De Niro, Midnight Run.
That's
Run.
excellent.
Okay.
Yes, much
Right.
better. See, I think this has a lot of Rain Man in it. Because they're on a road trip, and Robert Downey Jr. has his perfect life, and it's upended by someone who was essentially an overgrown child who was very high maintenance.
But it's not upended, right? I mean, part of the
But
problem
it
I had
is.
with this, but part of the problem I had with this movie was that I had trouble, you had trouble empathizing with Aaron Ralston in 127 Hours. I had trouble empathizing with Robert Downey Jr. in this one.
He was a dick.
He was a dick, exactly. He's a dick. And
But-
so when
But
he
who
gets,
wouldn't react like a
but
dick
when-
to this guy? He's horrible.
he goes so over the top. He's
Right.
clearly got anger management issues, and he comes off like such an asshole.
I agree.
That when he gets kicked off the plane early on in the film and gets put on the no-fly list, my thought was good. That
Right.
asshole shouldn't be allowed to fly. Good.
I thought he was too cruel. I thought he was
No.
beyond, I got it. There was nothing, there was no depth to him. It seems ridiculous to talk about in this movie, but he was such a jerk that that's all he became. And I thought, how does he on earth have a hot wife who appears to be very much in love with him? How does he have any friends? How does Jamie Foxx tolerate him as a friend?
Right.
He was so unpleasant that I didn't think there was anything more to him at all. So then when he has his redemption, you can see it coming, and I didn't believe it for a half a second. I'm like, that guy's a dick. He's a dick every day of his life.
I didn't believe that they would ever be friends.
No.
I didn't believe that Zach Galifianakis would ever actually exist as
Totally.
a real person on this planet.
Also true.
Because how would he not be dead by now?
Right.
He's such an idiot.
Or be locked up, right? Like, how
Right.
would somebody like that not be locked up in some kind of institution?
And it may seem like we're nitpicking, and if this were just a crazy, consistent comedy, then maybe we could tolerate Zach Galifianakis' nonsense. But he would also sort of be a ancillary character as opposed to the sort of driving force in the movie that he is.
We have to spend a lot of time with this person. And
Yeah.
I felt like I was trapped in the car with him, too. He's very similar to the character he often plays. He's similar to the character in The Hangover. He's similar to the guy on Between Two Ferns, which I love, which is hysterical. But he rides that line between like being an oddball and still being kind of sweet and kind of likable. He like jumps over that line, obliterates
agree.
that line, and is so obnoxious and so hard to tolerate that you don't want anybody to succeed here.
There was a humanity to him in The Hangover that did not exist here. He also didn't have to carry, the character didn't carry The Hangover.
A little of him goes a long way.
Little,
right?
my dad used to say about why MASH was good is because it wasn't called The Klinger Show. Like,
It's funny.
yeah, my dad's funny. But I also thought it was funny, and it felt like a Todd Phillips movie for about 30 minutes. I laughed a lot, and then all of a sudden, they're driving and they're having crazy car accidents.
That too.
They're having crazy car crashes.
Yeah.
And there's a bit in Mexico which made me want to leave. Like could have been, I don't know whether it could have been. It set itself up as a fairly funny road trip movie, and then it turned into a catastrophe.
Well, and it kind of starts out as you think it's going to be this relatively believable thing, right?
Right.
It's you think that, okay, yeah, I know I'm getting into this a movie, and liberties will be taken, but it feels like it's at least vaguely in the realm of possibility that some of this stuff can happen. And then by the end of the movie, when the scenes in Mexico, it goes completely insane.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're just in almost a farce. It's almost completely unbelievable.
It derailed into a farce, and not a good one.
Here's how I knew we were in trouble. I knew before we even walked in, because from the ads, they show that cute little smushy-faced French bulldog
Totally.
so often. And I'm a dog person. I have a smushy-faced dog myself. I have a Boston Terrier, so I'm a fan of all of those. But they show him so much. They go to him early and often that you know that script is weak. We have to cut away to the dog for the cute faces.
Totally, that's right. And of course you know that in every movie where there's a dog and you get the and it's always, and you get the crowd, and you get it the first time in this movie, and then it evaporates. This sucked.
And he's in
I gave
the
it too
cone
high.
of shame. The
Yeah.
dog's in the cone of shame.
In the cone of shame.
All right, ratings.
4.5.
That's
4.
ridiculous. You're both too high. I gave it 3.5, and I already regret it.
Well,
It was funny, didn't it? Wasn't it funny for 24 minutes?
The scenes, I was kidding, but the scenes in the Grand Canyon are very pretty.
Oh, come
So
on,
from
who
like a
cares?
production standpoint, it's shot.
It was the Grand Canyon.
very
How do you
beautifully.
fuck up
Well,
the
and
Grand
if they,
Canyon?
totally
yeah.
could.
And if they had been quiet and not screaming at each other, they could have heard poor Aaron Ralston stuck in that canyon.
Nice
Very
job,
good.
nice job. Overall rating for Due Date is Christy janked it up
I did.
with her
Who am
4.5. Anyway, it comes to a 4 for a Due Date. Don't go see it. And I love Todd Phillips, but everybody has a clunker. This show, for example. No, it was awesome. All right, there we go. Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What do
I
we
don't know
have
what you're
next
saying
week?
about Clunker. This is my best work.
Next week, I will not be here, sadly, but you all might be reviewing Morning Glory
Right, with Harrison Ford.
or what else is next week? Unstoppable.
Or we might also do,
Skyline, but that's
We're not
unlikely
screening
because
it.
that's
what's
not
the
going to get
one
screened.
we were going to do?
Fair Game. Well, that should be on the 19th.
How absurdly informal. We've let the informality just get away.
Fair Game, which should be on the 19th. It goes wider on the 19th. We
The
should do it then.
informality is masking itself as a lack of preparedness.
There's also Client 9 out there somewhere.
Client
If
9
you want to do
and,
Client 9.
and Fair Game, but we'll probably wait till the 19th
Okay.
on Fair Game when you're back. Christy, Matt, thanks very much, and enjoy the movies this weekend, everybody.